Raisin. Hey there, wizards. It's me, Wade the Wizard, and welcome to WIZARDOLOGY! You may have seen a little snippet of my new dog, Raisin. Let's see if we can show her off a little better. There she is. Oh wait, where are you going, girl? Oh. Hello. Say hello. That's Raisin. Well, that's the name that we adopted her with. We might change it. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We've got a bunch of different ideas, but oh my goodness. Let's see. The topic of today's show is. Oh, let me pull up the Wizardtron. Boop beep boop. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Where we are? Here we are. Art. What is art? Well, if you Google art, it might tell you that art encompasses a wide range of human activities, including visual arts like painting, sculpture, and architecture, as well as performing arts like theater, dance, and music, and other forms of creative expressions. There isn't a single universally accepted definition of art, and its meaning has evolved throughout history and across different cultures. But today I want to talk more about not just like, is this art, is that art, but like, where does art come from? What does art mean? I want to dissect that a little bit more, and I created a little song here for you called Art. We're going to jump into the show. Welcome to WIZARDOLOGY. Art is a manifestation of the ideas that live inside your mind. Art stops becoming when the elephant is chased away by bees. When you give birth to your art, you feel understood. Everybody's capable of making art. Art can be a collaboration with the mind waves being synchronization. Art will be an evil magic when the vision is surrendered for some gold. And when it's time to make some art, it may take some time. It can be a wonderful thing to make some art. Oh, hold on. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, give a big wizard welcome to Hoagie Bear.
What up, my wizards?
And it looks like you've got your dogs there as well.
I do. I'm at the park. I got Maggie, Fish, and Surprise Corgi.
But you don't know who the Corgi is?
No. Just a dog friend. Just a friend at the park.
Well, I don't know if you have a drink nearby, but we've got Phoebe.
Oh, I do.
Phoebe, the magical potion pheasant. Bring us a drink and make it oh so pleasant. That kind of worked. Here's my little chalice.
Is this where we're cheersing? Is this correct?
Let's see. I gotta go this way.
Ooh.
Close enough. Yeah, it's like a reverse mirror image. I love that you got the Pidgeotty pot. So check out this This is a new vessel that I got.
Is that stone? Is that crystal?
It's made out of a rock. Yeah, some kind of rock. I got it at a rock shop
A rock chalice.
in Zion when I was
Oh,
in.
nice.
Yeah, last in Zion. Well, how are you doing?
Oh, just swell. Swell on this wizardly Sabbath day.
Um, let's see what else. Well, so I guess I want to. I don't know. I've got a lot of different things that I want to talk about. So we're going to be talking about art today. But I guess well, here's my new hat. This is a new hat. So I have the body, heart, and mind. That's it's a little wizard hat on my wizard hat, representing the mind. And yeah, I've just been. It's tricky to try and live what I teach. For those of you who are new to Wizardology, what is Wizardology? Well, we're an anti-cult. So a cult is anything that modifies your behaviors, thoughts, and emotions. And so here at Wizardology, we try and free your behaviors, thoughts, and emotions, and to help you live your best life possible. And I'm trying to figure out what Wizardology is as well. Trying to figure it out for myself. Yeah, and to be honest, I've been struggling with some depression. I think a couple of things that I keep in mind is that everybody struggles with depression. Like one of the weirdest. Well, the one example that I reflect on often is that Robin Williams committed suicide. Because that guy, he was this famous, seemed to be happy guy, but he was struggling with depression. So yeah, it can affect us all. What do you, Mike, Hoagie Bear? What do you feel like livens up your spirit, helps you defeat those demons?
Well, to be honest, when I'm at my low of lows, when it feels like the weight of the world is crushing down, I remember the words of the true main character, the true hero of Lord of the Rings, Mr. Samwise Gamgee. His words to Frodo, that there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. That's what keeps me going, that there is something good, there's something worth it. It's not always going to be cake and gravy, but sometimes you get it.
Yeah, man. Well, random quick side thought, but have you seen The Substance?
A movie?
Yeah.
No.
Very interesting, man. Very, very good. I mean, if we're talking about art today, that is a work of art. How did you like my silly little the song? I guess I would add like another verse to the song or something, talking about how art is best when the vision in your mind most closely relates to the actual product of what you're trying to create. Because the song in my mind, it was more like upbeat. There was drums and the Barry sax. Boom, 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 boom. Art is a manifestation. You know, but I was like playing around on the Casio, and it ended up being this like church hymn sort of thing going on. So anyway, well, I guess before we move on to art, I wanted to just mention, maybe this will help somebody out who's been struggling with feeling down and depressed. But one thing that I often tell myself, or like a lie that I kind of think, is that I don't deserve to be happy, because for whatever reason, like, the dishes need to be done. I haven't done the dishes, and therefore you don't deserve to be happy. Yeah, I think I think that's something a lot of us we get caught up in, thinking like we don't deserve to be happy. But you know who deserves to be happy? Good people. Good people. And to be a good person is to not cause harm to other people, or contradict their informed consent, oppose their informed consent. And you're a good person, and you deserve to be happy. So, I don't know, hopefully that helps pick somebody up. I forgot to... So the opening hymn, I'm sure you're busy being at the dog park, but the opening hymn for the show was "Give Me Your Money" by Little Big.
Oh, that's a classic.
So good. And I actually wanted to kind of... One of the ideas that I wanted to talk about as far as art is this idea. So like Little Big, I mean, you can agree that their earlier music is different than the music that they produce now. Like, it was more just this grungy, raunchy, like Russian punk, techno rave, just, they didn't give a fuck. They didn't give a single fuck. Did whatever they wanted. Right? Their vision of what they thought was produced into the world. But I think the turning point was when they created the song Skibbity, or Skibbity Bop Bop Bow, Beep Bop Bow. It was just this silly, goofy song that it's their most watched video, with like over 700 million views. But that's kind of where it changed.
Dude, do you know, is that where this whole skibidi starts from? I ain't no hip to, the young jargon, but I hear that thrown out quite a bit. Is Little Big the start of all that?
I don't know.
What is skibidi?
That was I'm curious when... Dude, but yeah, like I just recently... a couple months ago, Little Big released Coco Copter, and it's just this like absolute garbage thing. But I'd be curious if Skibbity was something started by Little Big as a slang, because that was 7 years ago. Anyway, I just I'd like to believe... I just feel like Little Big might have gotten caught up in the whole hype, or like they had one big viral video, and they're like, oh, we got to make silly, goofy songs now.
Yeah, who hasn't gone through that phase, that process though, in in the mainstream. I mean, you see it time and time again. You talk about Robin Williams at the beginning, like how many cycles do we see over and over of
Yeah,
that just appealing to the masses at what cost to you personally?
yeah, yeah. And actually, that's kind of why I picked the one particular song, "Give Me Your Money." I mean, because I think so. One of the lines in my little hymn was like, "Art can be an evil magic when you surrender your vision to some gold." People like these artists, they'll they'll see that fame and or they'll get. I guess it's most evident when you see basically a cash grab, like a movie will just do a sequel or like a reboot, and it's just garbage because they're just trying to. They don't care about the artistic vision. They're just doing the
How many Supermans are we on, and how many different
yeah
Spider-Mans are we on? We got no original ideas anymore.
yeah. It's because they saw something that worked, and they're just trying to milk that teat, milk it. Yeah. Man, let's see. I should have made some notes, but we talked about. Yeah, let's see. I guess I. Oh, yeah. We can jump into that. Are there any of like anything that comes to mind as far as your favorite works of art or your favorite artists?
Um, I think lately I've really been appreciating Van Gogh's Starry Night more. I mean, it's one of the mainstream pieces of art, but it's kind of it's like the more I look at it, the more it's painting like a feeling. I mean, it's painting a landscape, and it's painting a real landscape that exists, but it's more of like the feeling of that starry night that I really appreciate. But I don't know, some of those greats, the Van Goghs, the Warhols. I've always been a fan of Andy Warhol. Kind of mass, like took art into like the mass marketed the old tomato soup, the prints and everything. I really
Mm.
enjoy. But
And
yeah,
actually, it reminds me there was a great documentary on Devo. I can't remember where, like, what
the band.
platform. Yeah, Devo. Do you, so it stands for de-evolution. De-evolution,
Oh.
like idiocracy. And they actually started out, like their band started out as a weird, like avant-garde art sort of thing. Like they were really out there as far as their music goes. And they were trying to portray this message of like, yeah, humans de-evolving, like idiocracy, just the dumbest people prevailing, and it was funny because, or like almost ironic because so many people who liked their music were these just brainless goofs. But yeah, they were really trying to create something. Um, oh yeah, you also mentioned one thing that I wanted to bring up, like the emotion of Starry Night, and
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that can be really powerful with art is being able to well capture and convey an emotion. But I think like the best art is made at the peaks of emotions, like yeah, just the most pure anger or love, happiness.
Yeah, I think like you kind of talked about art manifesting like an idea. Lately, I've been kind of thinking of like, an idea is the raw, unobserved particle of light. Like it could be anything, just floating around in your brain, and then you start to like write it down. You start to define it. That's kind of like collapsing the wave function. You're giving purpose. You're giving meaning to this idea. You're giving direction to it. I think with art, in a lot of its forms, you kind of lose some of that control. Like you don't have really control of the emotions that it brings up in others, or you don't all the times have like a specific control of the message you're conveying. You may have an idea of what you want to convey with a piece of art, but you can't control how others observe it as well. It's kind of putting it back out there, free floating it into the ether to see who else kind of has the same feelings that you had while you were creating it.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's like hard to explain or describe, but I felt like art might be, I don't know. So there's like the subconscious mind. There was one line, I don't know if it made sense in my little song, but it goes, how does it go? Art stops becoming art when the elephant is chased away by bees. So what that means is it's been said by some philosopher, I can't think of who, but the mind is like an elephant, a guy riding an elephant, the elephant rider, and the elephant is the subconscious mind, and the rider is the conscious mind. And so like most of the time the elephant just does what it wants and goes where it wants, and then you try and like consciously drive the elephant, but it's a big freaking creature, man. It's hard to drive that elephant. But yeah, the little bees that distract you, the noisy bees that are saying, "Hey, you're a failure. You're a loser. This isn't good art." So that's when the elephant drives away uncontrollably. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with this, but like
Art, man, art.
It's just like it feels almost like there's maybe something more to it, connecting the subconscious and the conscious mind, explaining, like when you really tap into the art of your subconscious mind, there's something about understanding the reality of our existence just a little bit better.
Ramen.
And yeah, it's like a picture's worth 1,000 words, and so it's hard to express these complicated emotions or thoughts about reality except for through some art. But let's see. You mentioned Starry Night. Well, I was kind of the things that came to mind for me, as far as some of my favorite works of art. Well, I'll mention this first. Whoa. I wore my Omega Mart. It's really just mega art. There was this exhibit in Las Vegas where it starts out as this kind of just weird looking grocery store, and then you explore deeper, you like teleport through these realms and just find mega art. And yeah, that was a really incredible experience. So that's why I was wearing this. But another one that that we've seen together is "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared." That was one thing I felt like really connected with. I just feel like that's like one of the most true, purest forms. Um, well, yeah. So one thing that they did for the second season, or like their second season, they were there was a studio that was gonna like host them or whatever, but they wanted them to do things a certain way, and they said, no, we're gonna do it our way. We're not gonna be influenced by what's popular or what's gonna be socially acceptable or whatever. We're gonna create our vision and put it out into the world, and that's what their second season was. Have you seen the second season?
I don't think so. I don't think I have.
It was a thing like, because they didn't also publish it on YouTube for whatever reasons, but yeah, it's like on their website. But man, the second season is just as good, if not better, than the first. Really good. Well, I guess I don't know. We'll try this, see if this works. I don't know if it's gonna work. I want to show. We had some technical difficulties last time I tried this, but I want to show a little trailer for Spare Flesh, a stop go animation video. See if we can pull this up. Right. This was something I discovered recently, and I just thought it was quite interesting. So, I don't see why. There we go. Okay, let's try this.
I know what you want.
That was beautiful, man. That was gorgeous.
Let's go back to this version here. That was something I just came across randomly. They're fairly new, but yeah, really, really interesting. Gotta check it out. Just on YouTube, Spare Flesh.
Is that the name of like a channel or a series, or just that one video in particular?
I think if you just search Spare Flesh, it should come up. Well, yeah. One of the things about Wizardology, so I'm glad I was feeling pretty down. I was feeling like not doing this month, but I'm glad I did, because as silly as it sounds, Wizardology is like one of the one thing that I look forward to. I just want it to be consistent, and I want it to be something eventually. Hopefully, I'm trying to like figure it out as I create it as well. Uh, but yeah, I like talking about like, so last time we talked about the cult of capitalism, trying to find that balance between not being influenced by the cult of capitalism, but also having to live in a world where we have to live by the system. And it's something I don't really understand. I'm trying to. I like talking about things that I don't really understand. And so. And I don't really understand art exactly. Not yet. I'm learning.
I think that's part of the beauty of art, though, is sometimes, well, and with life, I mean, sometimes you're not meant to understand it fully. Sometimes you just have to accept not getting it and just be like, those are some beautiful shapes and colors. I don't get what it means, but it's there. It exists.
Yeah. It's okay to not know. One of the most beautiful things is not knowing. Admitting, having the humility to admit that you don't know. But yeah, we're gonna try and figure it out. We're gonna talk about it each month. Wizardology. I'm a little unprepared. I don't really know what else to say.
Yep. Sometimes short and sweet is good. Sometimes just a
Yeah,
quick little shout out there into the world, being like, hey, there's beautiful art. There's still goodness in this world. So you keep going.
yeah. Um. Man, social media. I'm not gonna dive into that rabbit hole, but it's just these short little bits. You were talking about like a short little format, and like, yeah, I do like the live format of Wizardology where it's just unscripted and it feels natural. Oh, sweet Maggie. Man, I miss that dog. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't have to be, always a profound lesson. Just a check in. Just everybody, all the wizards in the world, just checking in, being like, "Hey, shit's happening. We're getting through it." But because I mean, you gotta be careful and balance with the whole little quick snippets from TikTok. Too much of the quick snippets can be detrimental to our health. But yeah, sometimes you're just like, we're still here. We'll catch you next month.
Man, I feel, I guess one more thing that I want to mention in this episode about art is the idea of boredom, man. I was watching, oh shoot, what was it? It was some movie I watched recently that like took place in like before radio, before like people were just doing needlepoint and you know like right now, like now currently in our culture, we're just so bombarded with entertainment every second, every minute, and we don't have time to like, creativity is born out of the ashes of boredom. When you don't have anything to do, then that's where creativity, where you start to think of some fun thing to do, something of your own. And we just don't have time for boredom anymore. Like, if as soon as you're bored, you just jump right to the phone and scroll. So practice being bored sometimes. Try being bored.
Well, your last show, the artist guy that was on your last show that was talking about meditation. Like
Yeah.
we need to remember what it was like for silence and to unplug, like meditation, not necessarily boredom, but the lack of just constant stimuli. Like we just need to listen and be quiet for a little bit. We need to shut the fuck up sometimes.
Yeah. Maybe that's. I think that's where we wrap up this episode and invite people to meditate. I one thing, maybe I mentioned it last time, but like, one thing I've been learning about meditation is that it's unique. It's different for each person. Because like the way my brain works, I got a bunch of busy thoughts, sitting cross-legged and trying to like close out all my thoughts doesn't work. I find I meditate best when I'm hiking or crocheting or like driving. When I have something to like preoccupy the conscious part of my mind or whatever, and then I can kind of escape into my subconscious mind. Or I'm laying down in bed. I'm not sleeping, but I'm letting my thoughts wander and flow and as they will, and trying to find that balance. So meditation is different for everybody. Gotta explore that a little bit. All right, well, I appreciate you hopping on, talking a little bit about art. We got a closing hymn as well. The link is in the description. It's Heaven by Talking Heads.
Ooh.
And yeah, I'll let you listen to that. But see you next second Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And Hoagie Bear, I don't believe in any gods, but I believe in you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I believe in you, Wade, and you stay classy, all you wizards out there.
All right.